First thing I'm going to try to do is show you the user authentication and authorization process. Okay, I'm going to walk you through the authentication and authorization process. Click on our icon. It's not authorized at this point, so the app asks you to authorize. You asked me to make sure that you could see that the name of the app, Photo Statistics, is at this screen. I'm going to use this account for authenticating. Hasn't been verified, so you have to go to Advanced, and you go to Google Photo Statistics. At this page you can see Photo Statistics is identified. You can go to the privacy policy from here. It says we adhere to the policy, to the limited use requirements, and the user can go and look at what those are, the details of that. And we can come back here. They can also go to the terms of services, and they can click here on see what they are authorizing, and then they can go ahead finally and allow. I can show you now that it has been authorized because now it doesn't ask for authorization. It says go ahead and click to do Google Photo Statistics. Next, I'm going to try to deal with the second bullet. Make sure that you can see that the app's name is in the OAuth consent screen. Now there are two OAuth consent screens. The one the user sees, which I showed you when we went through the OAuth process, and the OAuth consent screen at the Developers Council, which is what I'm going to show you next. Here we are at the OAuth consent screen at the Developers Council, and here is the Photo Statistics name. Next, I'm going to try to satisfy you on this bullet, showing the consent screen and the client ID. So here we are at the OAuth consent screen. I can't find anything that shows a client ID at the consent screen. It's not here anyplace, and it's not in the URL. So I think maybe you meant the credentials page. It shows the client ID, but you can't see much. But if I edit it, you get to see the entire client ID, and it's in the URL. So I hope this is what you meant. Now I'm going to try to deal with this last bullet, show how the app uses the requested scopes. So here we are at the final review. It's useful because it gives a larger box for the scope justifications, which I suppose is what you mean by how we use them. This is the scope that we need, and how we use it is we make RESTful calls to this endpoint and to this endpoint in order to get the user's media items and albums so that we can tell several user statistics and so on. I hope that's what you mean by how we use the scopes.